1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Testing, testing. Take it easy on Pomp and Circumstance. I can show her where it is. It's like as soon as you come in those doors to the left before the concession stand. And if it's not right there. Nice. Sounds good.
Now, what time does the first service start tomorrow?
8:30.
In the morning. And then the
So we
second
start
one?
playing at 8:20?
Yeah, we'll play around 8:20.
We leave the stands here?
Yeah, we can leave everything here except for our horns, obviously. But yeah, I think we should get here probably about 8. Just come in the back like normal. That'll be good because we don't have to mess with the stand.
Yeah, we were talking about this last time we played the Eubanks. Like we all switched parts.
Remember, long quarter notes. Stay up under y'all when it's pump. Starting to line up.
Good evening to family and friends of today's graduates. Welcome to Texas A&M University Commerce and commencement exercises for the graduate school. Will you please rise for the academic procession?
Here we go. Yeah, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. My name is Dan Jones, and I am honored to serve as the 11th president of Texas A&M University Commerce. It is my pleasure, on behalf of the students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the entire Texas A&M University system, to welcome each of you to this commencement ceremony. I extend an especially warm welcome to the families and friends of our graduates, particularly those of you who have traveled great distances to attend this important event. And since this ceremony is available via webcast, we are also pleased to welcome others from around the world who are watching the ceremony with us live. The ceremonial mace you see on the platform is a gift from the faculty presented to the university on the occasion of its centennial in 1889. The mace was used in the Middle Ages first as a weapon, then as a symbol of office. Today, it is used in academic processions to represent the high esteem we at Texas A&M University Commerce attach to our founding values, expressed by Professor Mayo more than a century ago: ceaseless industry, fearless investigation, unfettered thought, and unselfish service to others. I would like to thank Dr. Stephen Starnes, the President-elect of the Faculty Senate, for bearing the mace. Dr. Starnes. The earning of an advanced degree is a significant achievement in the life of an individual. This commencement ceremony is also an important event in the life of the university, representing our shared commitment to scholarship and academic achievement. We are pleased today to confer graduate degrees upon 749 students in this ceremony. That's 36 doctoral students, 712 masters, and 1 specialist. I believe this is the largest graduating class in our master's commencement in school history, so congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jim Schwertner, a member of the Board of Regents of the Texas A&M University System, who will bring greetings and authorize the conferral of degrees. Regent Schwertner graduated from Texas Tech University in 1974 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Economics. He is President and Chief Executive Officer of Schwertner Farms Incorporated and Chairman of the Board of Schwertner State Bank. Mr. Schwertner has served as past chairman of the boards of the Cattlemen's State Bank in Austin, which he organized in 1984, the Gerald Schwertner Water Supply Corporation, and the Texas Feeders Association. He has served as advisory director of Wells Fargo Bank in Austin, president of Taylor Livestock Auction, and past director of the National Beef Board in the Capital Area Diabetes Association. He also has served on the executive committee of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. He was president of the Texas Livestock Market Association, past chairman of the Texas Aviation Advisory Board, and is currently a member of the Williamson County Water Visionary Committee. In addition, he is chairman of the Seton Hospital Williamson Foundation Board of Trustees, past director of the Texas Beef Council, and is a partner in the Lockhart Livestock Auction and the Mid-Tex Livestock Auction in Navasota. Mr. Schwertner received the 2010 Distinguished Alumni Award from Texas Tech University's College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources. Past honors include Man of the Year in Agriculture in Williamson County and Man of the Year in Texas Agriculture in 1995. In 2005, he received the National Cattlemen's Beef Association Vision Award. Mr. Schwertner is also an accomplished airplane and helicopter pilot and holds the aviation world speed record for the Piper Navajo. Appointed to the Board of Regents by Governor Rick Perry in 2009, he is serving his second term as chair of the Committee on Buildings and Physical Plant. He is a member of the Committee on Audit and Policy Review Committee, and he serves as special liaison to the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Texas A&M University Corps of Cadets in the A&M System military training programs. Please help me welcome Regent Jim Schwertner.
Good afternoon. President Jones, distinguished guests, moms and dads, friends and family, and most importantly, the Texas A&M University Commerce Class of 2013. I bring you greetings today on behalf of the entire Texas A&M University System Board of Regents. It's a real honor to be here today, Commerce. In Lion Country, I now know, due to the weather we have, why lions are so hardy and strong. I know a lot of you are first-time graduates in your family, and I know how proud all of your family members are. So please stand up and give them a round of applause for supporting you in all your endeavors. I know you're sure that you get a quality education at Texas A&M Commerce and part of the Texas A&M University system. Today, you join the Texas A&M University System alumni family with over 11 universities, 135,000 students. You're getting a degree that you should be proud of and honor and cherish for the rest of your life. We will never forget you at Texas A&M Commerce. We build leaders. You've made us very proud. You've made your family very proud. Now we expect you to go out and challenge the world with honor, integrity, to make sure that people understand the type of education and degree that you've gotten at Commerce. Now, President Jones, by the authority of the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents, it is my pleasure to authorize you to confer the respective academic degrees for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations pertaining thereto. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Regent Schwartner. It is certainly a pleasure and an honor to have you here on our campus. We'd like to present you with this small token of our appreciation as a memento of your presence here today. I would now like to call upon my colleague, Dr. Adolfo Benavides, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, who will introduce our speaker for this occasion. Dr. Benavides.
Thank you, President Jones. Good afternoon. It is my pleasure and my privilege to introduce our speaker for this commencement ceremony. He is Dr. Gary Peer. Gary is a native of Kansas. He graduated from Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas in 1963 with a bachelor's degree in history and political science. He received his master's degree in education from Emporia State University, also in Kansas. In 1971, Gary Peer became Dr. Gary Peer when he earned his doctorate degree in education from Indiana University. He began his career as a high school teacher and counselor before moving into higher administration as a high school teacher and counselor, subsequently moving into higher education and serving as a faculty member and administrator at Indiana University, the University of Tulsa, Adams State College in Colorado, Central Michigan University, Tarleton State University, Minnesota State University, and Texas A&M University Commerce. He served as interim provost and vice president for academic affairs at this institution in both 2009 in 2012. Dr. Peer has served as a member of numerous clubs and organizations, including the Rotary Club Board of Directors, Chambers of Commerce, the Presbyterian Church, Area Health Education Council, Mental Health Association, the Colorado Alliance for Science, and also he served as a Chamber of Commerce president in Alamosa, Colorado. He recently was selected as the 2014 Distinguished Alumnus of Emporia State University. Currently, Dr. Gary Peer serves as the president-elect of the Rotary Club in Stephenville, Texas, where he lives with his lovely wife, Beverly, his wife of 54 years. They are the proud parents of 3 children, the just as proud and spoiling grandparents of 8 grandchildren, and the just as proud and even more spoiling great-grandparents of 2 great-grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Gary Peer.
Thank you, Dr. Benavides, for that very, very kind introduction. I'll have more to say about that momentarily. But first, to the master's, specialist, and doctoral degree graduates of Texas A&M University Commerce's class of 2013. Family and friends of the graduates gathered here today in body or spirit to share this special occasion with you. Other current and former A&M Commerce students present, the distinguished and dedicated faculty, staff, and administration of the university, A&M System Board of Regents member Swertner, Graduate Dean Horn, Provost Benavides, and President Jones, it is really indeed a privilege to have been extended the invitation to be here once more with you on this important occasion. This, after all, notwithstanding a cold, cloudy, rainy Friday, December the 13th. How about that list? This, after all, is a day that all of those gathered here have made, and as such, a day this university community, so assembled, can rightly proclaim to be a day you have collectively made, one in which you can collectively rejoice and celebrate together. We celebrate first, of course, the graduates who will come forward soon to accept their diplomas. Without their commitment and dedication to furthering their personal and professional development, there would be, of course, no need for this occasion. And to be certain, we celebrate today the graduates' families and friends with us who too often go unrecognized in providing the necessary support and encouragement to pursue a graduate degree. And without equivocation or further qualification, I trust we might agree today, there's no price that can be placed on the value to these graduates of those dedicated faculty, staff, and administrators who each in their own way, consistently and persistently, do whatever they can, large or small, to inspire and challenge and assist the graduates to reach this important milestone in their lives. This dedicated community of scholars and professionals looks forward every year to each commencement as an opportunity to reflect upon, celebrate, and appreciate the critical role of education and educational institutions in this state, this nation, and indeed every free nation of the world. Indeed, I say to you, my friends, this is the day you all have made, Come, let us rejoice and celebrate in it together. Having enjoyed the privilege, as Provost Benavides remarked, of serving this historic institution twice in the past, I can say, along with the privilege of serving the institution, having made some wonderful new friends and professional colleagues at A&M Commerce, being here today with you is not just a privilege, it is a true pleasure. Sharing that pleasure with me, as Dr. Benavides said, is my wife of 55 years. We're a little bit older, Adolfo, since you knew us, but Bev and I are now celebrating our 55th wedding anniversary. Bev, please stand and let the audience recognize you. Just wave your hand over there, honey. Wave your hand. To steal a line from your own East Texas prominent and senior member of the United States House of Representatives, Congressman Ralph Hall, in all of those 55 years of marriage, Bev and I have never had a single argument that I won. As an early Christmas present to her, I'm going to tell her favorite story about long marriages and how they last. It has to do with two lines at the gates of heaven for the males who are deceased seeking entry. Over one line, there is a sign that reads, "For the men who were dominated by the women in their lives." And that is a long, long line. The other line says, "For men who were not dominated by the women in their life," and there are but 6 diminutive, small, inconspicuous males standing in that line. One big brute in the first line reaches over and taps one of the little fellows in the other line and says, "Can you tell me what you're doing standing there?" The little fellow looked up at him and said, "I have no idea. It's just where my wife told me to stand." That explains the 55-year marriage. Before proceeding to a few brief remarks to the graduates, and I do say brief, mindful of Mark Twain's warning to all speakers and all audience members everywhere, and it was as follows: there simply is no worse death known to humankind than to be held captive in some audience and talked to death. But before moving to those brief remarks, I must here acknowledge that wonderful introduction of Adolfo. He was trying very hard to cover all the bases, and I so appreciated that. But I must confess, every introduction seems to have the tendency to give the person being introduced an exaggerated sense of self. And every time that happens, I'm reminded again of Twain. And Twain said, "There will be occasions in your lives," and graduates, now that you have these advanced degrees, those occasions are likely to increase. There will be occasions in our lives when we are made to feel more important than we truly are. And Twain said, it's a good idea on every one of those occasions to pause, step back, and consider it's very possible the only reason any of us are even here today is God was just deeply disappointed in the monkey. So whether you wish to consider me some exaggerated imaginary person you may have envisioned from Dr. Benavides' introduction, or merely one of God's improvements on the monkey, I humbly begin these few brief remarks to our graduates, fully aware that the most predictable characteristic of commencement speeches is how utterly and completely forgettable they are. Having delivered several dozen of them over the years and attended over 100 of them, I can tell you with passion, it's hard to find a human being who can tell you anything that he or she remembers from any commencement speech they've ever heard in their life. Indeed, perhaps the most well-known commencement speech is arguably the briefest commencement speech in history, and it was delivered by no less than Winston Churchill shortly after World War II, when he was invited to give the commencement address at Harrow School in London. Churchill strode to the podium after having led the British people through months and months of bombing by the German Luftwaffe, looked at the graduates of Harrow and said the following, and this was his entire speech: "Never, ever, ever give up." And he sat down to a standing ovation. And I know what you're thinking. If you had good sense, Peary, you'd do the same thing. I didn't get here today because I have good sense. It's a true story and I love to tell it. Well, allow me to tell our graduates and others still listening what I would like to say to you today, whether they remember it very long or not. I want to share a few thoughts on the power of ideas, in a very general sense, of course. The stuff, if you will, these graduates have been cramming into their minds and hearts for the past several years. What about this notion, the power of ideas? What about that idea that the power of ideas is something we each need to be aware of and thoughtful of and considerate of? The purported father of American psychology, William James, shortly before he died, we didn't hear much from him after he died, but shortly before he died, said that the most important discovery of his lifetime was that human beings could literally alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. James went on to say, "As we think, so shall we be." These graduate students who might be familiar with some of the works of Mr. James also are familiar with other things he said about the power of ideas, such as belief creates actual fact. And this one, still popular among contemporary practitioners in psychotherapy of cognitive methods of psychotherapy, the greatest weapon against human stress is the human being's ability to choose one thought over another. To choose one thought over another. Interestingly, while no psychologist of James' stature, the same Mark Twain mentioned earlier was saying at about the same time something rather important about the power of ideas, in his opinion, in this way when he said, "Loyalty to petrified opinion never broke a human chain or freed a human soul." Yes, Mark Twain was indeed a humorous fellow, a witty writer with a huge vocabulary, but he clearly chafed at petrified opinion in human affairs and the stubbornness with which some folk hold on to them. You may recall his line from his classic, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, when Tom says to Huck, "Why, shucks, Huck, every fool in town's on our side on this issue, and that's a big enough majority in any town." I must admit, every time I hear or read that quote from Twain, I have a quiet grin and a quiet chuckle. So graduates, as you weigh these observations on not only the power of ideas, and if not our inclination, our human ability to alter them, on this very special day when your own acquisition of additional ideas and altered attitudes of mind is about to be commemorated, further consider these words, centuries preceding both James and Twain, from the oft-quoted Roman philosopher Epictetus, himself a slave from childhood, crippled for life by the horrendous beatings of his owners. Epictetus said, "We are not disturbed by the things that happen to us in this life, but rather by our view of those things." This, ladies and gentlemen, from a man so badly beaten as a slave that he was crippled for life. We're not disturbed by those things that happen to us, he said, but rather by our view of those things. Wow, how extraordinary. For a crippled slave to acknowledge his own role in determining what experiences would in his life disturb him and what experiences would not. I have reflected on many occasions that as impressive as people like James and Twain were in their day, they paled by comparison to the words of Epictetus. Kind of makes little things like frozen pipes the past week or two seem trivial, doesn't it? Lest, however, we take ourselves too seriously and forget Twain's warning, Epictetus, James, etc., listen to how Oklahoma's late son Roger Miller put it in the words of a song. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage and you can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. Isn't that interesting? You can be happy if you've a mind to. Amazing to consider that a small-town country kid from Oklahoma had so much in common with the father of American psychology, the purported Lincoln of American literature, and one of the Roman Empire's most respected philosophers. But you can take Roger's words to the bank. You can't really take a shower in a parakeet cage, and you can't really roller skate in a buffalo herd. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. But the icing on the cake for me comes not from those kinds of sources, but from the strictly fictional story told by NASA scientists early in the days of pre-manned flight. Before man or woman was sent into space, they used chimps and monkeys for the experiments. Seems these two monkeys were all wired up and carefully connected to all kinds of sensory measures on computer screens back in Houston. And just seconds after being blasted off Cape Canaveral at several hundred G-forces with teeth chattering and limbs shaking, one monkey turns to the other and said, "You know, this is an awful way to make a living." The other monkey thought a moment and says, "Well, yeah, but you got to admit it beats that hemorrhoid clinic back in Houston." That might have been a little over the line. Oh, yes, we do indeed, ladies and gentlemen, choose our own miseries. We choose them. That's how powerful our ideas are about our experiences in this world. Otherwise, how do you figure from your own life experiences how two otherwise apparently normal, reasonable human beings can have the precise same human experience, and one views it merely as an irritant, while the other views it as a life crisis? Take, for example, the Dallas Cowboys. I thought that would get a better laugh. For some, it's an irritant. For others, it's a crisis. Well, as one who believes that the likelihood of our doing better than John Gardner suggested when he wrote in a book in the 1960s that our time on this earth is but a grain of sand in the long stretch of astrophysical time. But if you were to ask most of us how we choose to live that grain of sand, far too many of us, Gardner said, would have to say by laying waste ourselves, our earth, and one another. Gardner went on to say, surely we can do better than that. If you believe, as I do, that the likelihood of each of us doing better than that rests in some important part with our willingness and commitment to a heightened appreciation, not just for the power of ideas themselves, but for our capacity to choose new or different ones in the face of an ever-changing world, I close in this way. If beings as diverse in time and place as James, Twain, Epictetus, Miller, Gardner, and two NASA monkeys were essentially of one mind on our ability to alter our lives by altering our attitudes of mind, as well as our ability to choose new or different ones and to make our own determinations in life of the things that truly disturb us, and if Gardner does make us uncomfortable by alleging that too many of us blow off our fleeting moment on this earth by laying waste ourselves, our earth, and one another, then perhaps we might validate the value in our own lives of these appreciations for the power of ideas. You will notice, however, that none of the sources cited in my remarks to this point spoke of it being easy to choose one's own ideas, or that it is easy to change them when circumstance warrants. I believe that that's the same reality that Henry David Thoreau confronted on Walden Pond when he said in two different places of that book, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And later in the book, nonetheless, we should each go confidently in the direction of our dreams and live the lives we've imagined. I believe we are now speaking of birds of a feather, if you will, and can thus think of no better idea to end these remarks on than that one implied in Thoreau's dichotomy. And so I say once more to our graduates, go forward confidently. Congratulations. and take better care of yourselves, our earth, and one another, and live the life you've imagined. And when your work on earth is done, may you be in heaven at least 100 days before the devil knows you're dead. Thank you very much.
Dr. Pear, thank you for sharing with us today not only your time, but your wit, wisdom, and experience. And thank you for your service to this institution. You have certainly served us in good stead, and your service and your many achievements will be long remembered, as will the friendships that you made while in Commerce. We would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation. When Dr. Pear worked here, we tried to load him up with Commerce gear and challenge him to wear it in Stephenville, which he found somewhat difficult, but we're going to do it one more time. Gary, thank you very much. We're especially honored that so many family, friends, and special guests can be with us today to help celebrate our pride in our graduates. Many of you, I know, will want a permanent record of today's event. But for safety reasons and as a courtesy to those around you, we ask that you refrain from leaving your seats to take photographs during the actual ceremony. A professional photographer is on hand here at the front and will photograph the conferring of each graduate's degree. This graduating class includes some students who merit special recognition. Texas A&M University Commerce is committed to serving our military and veteran students. We are fortunate to have a special group of students in this graduating class whom we would like to commend for their service to our country. Would our military and veteran graduating students please stand and be recognized? These graduates are wearing red, white, and blue cords, designating their service to our country. I would also like to recognize our veterans among the faculty and staff, as well as those in the audience who have served our country. Would all the veterans in the audience and among the faculty and staff please stand and be recognized? Thank you all for serving our country so nobly and so well. At this time, I call upon Dr. Arlene Horn, Vice Provost for Research and Dean of Graduate Studies, who will present candidates for doctoral degrees.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. The doctoral degree is the highest and most advanced university award earned in a particular field and is granted in recognition of the completion of academic preparation for research, creative scholarship, or professional practice. The doctoral degree is a mark of distinguished academic achievement recognized worldwide and worthy of the highest of recognition. Will the candidates for the doctoral degree please rise? Mr. President, these candidates for the doctoral degree have met all of the requirements in their particular disciplines and have been approved for graduation. Therefore, on behalf of the graduate faculty, it is with great pleasure that I recommend that their degrees be conferred.
Thank you, Dr. Horn. By the authority vested in me by the state of Texas, the Board of Regents, and the Chancellor of the Texas A&M University System, I hereby confer upon you the particular degree to which you are entitled, with all of the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Will the candidates for the doctoral degree please proceed to the stage to receive your degrees from President Jones?
Kugler. Wait, Keith, come up. Here we go. Keith Kugler, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. John Travis. Truett Leak, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. John Travis. Jody Shepard. Jody Shepard, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. John Travis. Michelle Baird, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Casey Brown. Stephen Davis, EDD, Educational Administration, will also be hooded by Dr. Casey Brown. Jonathan Royal. Jonathan Royal, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Casey Brown. Melinda Bobbitt, PhD, English, will be hooded by Dr. Donna Dunbar Odom. Tanya Mackey, PhD, English, will be hooded by Dr. Donna Dunbar Odom. Kimberly Cantu, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Art Borgaminki. Alana Sloan, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Art Borgaminki. Thank you for the correction. Michelle Klein, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Chris Kemp Graham. Angie Gooch, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Chris Kemp Graham. Becky Kessler, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Chris Kemp Graham. Diane Permenter, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Chris Kemp Graham. Juan Solis, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Chris Kemp Graham. Scarlett Klaus, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. Richard Lumadou. Sherry Leonard Foots, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. Rick Lumadou. Kevin Norval Sr., EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. Richard Lumadou. Philip Ortiz, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. Richard Lumadue. Petra Strasberg, EDD, Supervision, Curriculum and Instruction, Higher Education, will be hooded by Dr. Richard Lumadue. Colt Turner, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. Rick Lumadue. Jennifer Collar, PhD, English, will be hooded by Dr. Bill Bolin. Carrie Eddy, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. Julia Ballinger. Sean Ferrier-Watson, PhD, English, will be hooded by Dr. Susan Stewart and assisted by Dr. Dan Jones. Lance Gropool, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. William Holt. Brad Helmer, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. William Holt. Jason Johnston, EDD, Educational Administration, will be hooded by Dr. William Holt. Sunshine Hamkampai, PhD, English, will be hooded by Dr. Shannon Carter. Charles Hamilton, PhD, English, will be hooded by Dr. Gerald Duchovny. Donna Peters, PhD, Educational Psychology, will be hooded by Dr. Benton Pierce. Hattie Powell, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. Joyce Scott. Carissa Samuel, EDD, Higher Education Leadership, will be hooded by Dr. Joyce Scott. Yesem Sachi, PhD, Counseling, will be hooded by Dr. Amir Abbasi.
Please join me in extending congratulations to all of our doctoral graduates. Dr. Horn will now present candidates for the specialist and master's degrees.
The specialist degree and the master's degree are respected academic awards given in recognition of the successful completion of substantive post-baccalaureate study in a chosen field in preparation for scholarly and professional activities. Will the candidates for the specialist and master degrees please rise? Oh boy. Mr. President, these candidates for the specialist and master's degrees have met all of the requirements in the respective disciplines and have been approved for graduation. Therefore, on behalf of the graduate faculty, it is with great pleasure that I recommend that their degrees be conferred.
By the authority vested in me by the state of Texas, the Board of Regents, and the Chancellor of the Texas A&M University System, I hereby confer upon you the particular degree to which you are entitled, with all of the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Will the candidates for the specialist and master's degrees please proceed to the stage to receive your degrees from President Jones?
Latricia M. Washington.
Rachel Aaron.
James D. Alexander.
Tony Acosta.
On Talal Al-Harthi.
Tunji Akori.
Rebecca Danya Ahayek.
Sultan Alamri.
Mohammed Hamad Al-Khaldi.
Ariana Aldako.
Danetta Marie Allen.
Fahad Al-Gamdi.
Aj Al-Nabali. Faisal Mohammed Al-Samani.
Abdurman Al-Hassan. Abdurman Al-Hassan.
Fatin Abdullah Al-Sheri.
Osama Al-Hindi.
Naveen Yegyan.
Jabbar Al-Jabbar.
Nasrin Adnan As-Soleimani.
Hind Al-Kude.
Abdul Karim Jabbar Al-Salami.
Jocelyn Alvarez Allgood.
Stephanie Janet Altman.
Bakid Muhammad Alminhali.
Andra Shabo Apwan.
Falad Saad Hamuteri.
Nasser Muhammad Asiri.
Abdulaziz Al-Kushari.
Debrina Williams Atkinson.
Samir Al-Sahafi.
Melissa Ashley Botter.
Abdullah Muhammad Al-Sayari.
Lane C. Baker.
Salha Mansour Al-Shamrani.
Dawn Marie Barham.
Loretta B. Olson.
April Lee Barnes.
Abdul Majid Abdurrahman Al-Tassan.
Jerry L. Bass.
Hind Sal Al-Turki.
Tamika R. Bedford.
Ernestina Denise Amador.
Brittany M. Bilo.
Christine M. Anthus.
Eric James Benson.
Natalia Arbeláez.
Amanda Burkhalter.
Natalia Assis.
Michael P. Berry.
Helen Catherine Arthier.
Uday Kumar Bogaraja.
David Bailey.
Lauren M. Boo.
Julie Constantine Barajas.
Lacey Mikkel Brewer.
Jerry Wade Barker.
Sky Broadus Thomas.
Gregory L. Barnes Jr.
Stacy L. Brown.
Shante Ibet Bati.
Jeanette Hudson Burnett.
Molly Bauer.
Adriana L. Bustillo.
Amanda Kite Bell.
Ashley Michelle Kane.
Maisha L. Benford.
Catherine Joe Calloway.
Nathan Ryan Benson.
Denise L. Campbell.
Jennifer Lee Bergeron.
Atipol Cantalis.
Dawn Alicia Bibbins.
Hilda Carrillo.
Michelle Elizabeth Blackshear.
Cedric D. Chandler.
Monica Bubba.
Gary L. Chappell.
Brandy Bowles.
John Guo Chen.
Nabia Bopana.
Sahithi Cheriku.
Angela Boyles.
Sravani Cherivu.
Valencia Brewer.
Courtney L. Clayton.
Glenda Brooks.
Shamir R. Connor.
Robert Jerome Broom.
Adam Bryant Cook.
Joseph Buttery.
Aaron K. Cook.
Jonathan Cadwell.
Jeffrey Mark Corbett.
Rhonda Carol Caldwell.
Britton L. Counter.
Stacy Camp.
Christina D. Kraft.
Shanda Renee Carpenter.
Kayla Doyen Crawford.
John Cathy.
Sarah C. Crislip.
Keith Caleb Chandler.
Heather L. Cummings.
Jennifer Chegg.
Shatera Davis Curry.
Abiba Chernet.
Mickey J. Irwin.
Marquitha Maria Clay.
Ibrahim Khalil Dagestani.
Lauren Ashley Coates.
Quincy Deshaun Daniels.
Jared Collins.
Deborah Joy Davis.
Jorge Contreras.
Jennifer Dara Day.
Cynthia Linnell Cook.
Samantha Nicole Delgado.
Christine Angela Corbett.
Anne Dawn.
Gerald Cox.
Melinda Denise Dunbar.
Shelly Work Craig.
Maurice M. DuPont Jr.
Vanjie S. Kraft.
Nasreen El-Midjoni.
Wade Cross.
Mandy Christina Elliott.
Marcus Damon Cummings.
Elias Sonny Ellis.
Kimberly Davis.
Manuel Espino.
Timothy Dawson.
Erica Denise Fambles.
Latoya Monique Dees.
Amanda Lee Fenton.
Emmanuel Diaz.
Kia Sherelle Fields.
Christy Lee Doster.
Hawa Fofana.
Shalonda Dumas.
Laura Tovar Fox.
Jeannie Diane Dunlap.
Michelle Frazier.
Glenizor Durham.
Lisette M. Fruget.
John Elliott.
Zanita Marie Gaither.
Dustin Ellis.
Catalina Galeano Castro.
Laura Ellis.
Ahmad Gadwan Sr.
Angelo Farias.
Deidre D. Ginn.
Delicia Quintinia Fields.
Conadat Isais Gomez.
Charity Franco.
LaCondria Graves.
Amy Diane Friddle.
Stephanie Penn Green.
Marshall Jason Frost.
Lisa Yvette Guajardo.
Derek Fuller.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Guram.
Deanna Jeanette Gaw.
Lauren Parker Hablutzel.
Brandy Guilds. What's the last name?
Gabrielle L. Hall.
Daniel Moses Goldberg.
Afra F. Hassan.
Jacob Goodwin.
James Joseph Hayes.
Teresa Michelle Gray.
Ahmad Osama A. Hanawi.
Chad Elliott Green.
Jasmine Chantel Hester.
Shushma Reddy Guduru.
Nicholas Hightower.
Seren Mu Haig.
Ashley L. Hines.
Eric Hoffman.
Katrina N. Hobbs.
We Ha.
Joy W. Hogue.
Robert William Hawkins Jr.
Stephanie Hoover.
Alisa Marie Haynes.
Piper Luann Huckleberry.
Rhonda Lynette Henry.
Simone C. Humble.
Ashley Rose Hickey.
Audrey Ann Idem.
Amber Hill.
Clayton David Irby.
Emily Michelle Hobbs.
Brittany Noel James.
Ramon Hodges.
Bingjing Ji.
Ransima Hontunakorn.
Arteria L. Jingles Cockerham.
Sean Hua.
April Leanne Jones.
Rashad Hassau.
Jasmine N. Jones.
Mulai Hisham Idrisi.
Nancy Joseph.
Abdul Rahman Ibrahim Japra.
Crystal L. Jr.
Tyra Monique Jackson.
Natasha Divinagrasha Khan.
Dana Renee James.
Pravin Kumar Gangadarao Kandare.
Ashley Sharday Jones.
Dawn D. Kerr.
Judy Jordan.
Zonera Khalid.
Ibet Hoya.
Pradeep Kohli.
Ali Muhammad Yusuf Kerm.
Kathleen Marie Lander.
Vance DeBrell Keys.
Lisa Renee Laster.
Daewon Kim.
Kelly Lavoie.
Johnny Thomas Kirkpatrick IV.
James Kevin Lakey.
Surya Prasad Kondapuram.
Stephanie Ann Lewis.
Charlotte Louise Cradis.
Jing Lee.
Patrick Allen Landgraf.
Paul Vince Liberato.
Melinda Lanachik.
Zhang Liu.
Robert Ernest Latin.
Divine N. Mabo.
Trenton Scott Lawrence.
Suba Rani Manchineni.
Joanna Lurson.
Brittany L. Martin.
Pong Yon Lee.
Michael A. Martinez.
Yao Liu.
Andrew Kimball Matei.
Shamika Logan.
Anusha Mecca.
Jamie Mahu.
Jonathan Cole Mendez.
Hadisha Maiga.
Fadia Ali Mataki. Amarender Reddy Methuku.
Peter Richard Mallow.
Amarendu Reddy Mathuku.
Nidia Marlene Marquez.
Divya Sri Miriala.
Marissa Martin.
Kyle A. Mitchell.
Sylvia Medina Diggs.
Christopher Moyeda.
Sarisha Mika.
Carla Denise Montanares.
Latifa Ali Mataki.
Francis Pasha Moore.
Ana Cecilia Mewa.
Nithish Kumar Murcherla.
Sonia Milton.
Asha Manmadan Nair.
Andrea Harvey Mitchell.
Victoria Amara Nwoko.
Janet Monahan.
Olaide O Ofuya.
Rachel K. Morton.
Olasola S. Okunfulure.
Connie Francis Munoz.
Michael O. Osieko.
Nesbit Musakasa.
Robert Christopher Pagankoff.
Asra Nabid.
Brittany Nicole Parks.
Kelly Nix.
Carmilla E. Pearson.
Olufemi Onguyeni.
Kimberly Brooke Pennington.
Frederick Ong.
Harshavardhan Pepala.
Kurt Everett Page.
Cynthia G. Perez.
Stacy Dawn Payne.
Crystal A. Perez.
Donald J. Parker.
Kamian Nashe Pickens.
Ty Parr.
Carrie B. Pitts.
Sharina Pena.
Cornelius Jerome Price.
And Michelle Pinson.
Robin Sarah Provost.
Elizabeth Abreu Perez.
Sudhir Reddy Putana.
Corey Leanne Perry.
Srimathi Ranganathan.
Megan Renee Petty.
Clifton Devon Reagan.
Gregory Pierce.
Alana Jelaine Robinson.
Carolina Portillo Prieto.
Oscar Rodriguez.
Jennifer Amy Pound.
Catherine Ann Rogers.
Sherry Pringle.
Gina Rosales.
Shrikant Shibanaga Pubada.
Felicia Signs Phillips.
Sailaja Rayaprolu.
Delia Denise Salinas.
Janika Reed.
Sally Sanchez.
Lina Maria Rios.
Christina Renee Shuttler.
Angela Smith Robinson.
Aisha Mohammed Shanimir.
Samuel Rodriguez Jr.
Vanessa Silva.
Derek Rowland Sr.
Jana B. Smith.
Debbie Rosales.
Savannah Tamara Smith.
Jessica Marie Rose.
David Gerald Smothers.
Lilia Casillas Salazar.
Tyranny M. Sparks.
Ramiro Sanchez.
Ravali Tadakamadla.
Kay Sands.
Aaron L. Talley.
Ramakrishna Sesam.
Denise Lynn Thornton.
Daniel Rashid Sheikh.
Alessandro Uje.
Cristina Marie Cifuentes.
Kameshwari Valabajoshula.
Julie Silman.
Swapna Vangala.
Alethea Smith.
Mahira Vasana.
Tiffany Smith.
Melissa D. Velasco.
Jamie Snyder.
Ciara V. Vinson.
Matthew Spees.
Mitchell Wade Jr.
Karen Talent.
Roger Glenn Walls.
Joseph Tedesco.
Deborah A. Watkins.
Micah L. Thompson. The diploma will be presented by her father, Dr. William Thompson, Professor of Sociology and Criminal Justice.
Cynthia A. Webb Ryder.
Ashley Ticken.
Brandy Nicole Wells.
Michael Wayne Trammell.
Michael T. Watley.
Kelly Turner.
Gina Wilder.
Heather Unruh.
Jennifer Deline Willard.
Aaron Dwayne Vallow.
Carolyn Jeanette Wilson.
George Varghese.
Carly Christine Wisner.
Mari Vega.
Pick Yu Wong.
David Viramontes.
Ashley Morgan Rayford.
Michael Walla.
Mark W. Wolf.
Chen Shi-wan.
Sarah Yanez.
Camille Don Washington.
Annie Yao.
Jennifer Webb.
Erica J. Zachary Sinkfield.
Tamia Danica Wesco.
Meng Meng Zhao.
Ronnie Winnan.
Shudong Zhou.
Kenitras Marcel Wiley.
Wilfred S. Zungrana.
Joseph James Willarth.
Ramakanth Domadaram.
Tashana Shante Wilson.
Yu Zhang.
Sawala Guriya Poche.
Laurencia Biama.
Bernardo Wolf.
Dajila Sai Rama Kumar.
Kevin Wren.
I can read cards. Pujita Kadmiseti.
Zen Yang. Luis Ibarra Jr. Stephen Lawrence Young. Hao Zhang. Naifu Zhang. Renata Ziba. Boniface Naribo. Gothan Boba. Arjun Malipedi. Shushmita Yadama. Abdulatif Al-Mohim. Mohammed Fahad Al-Muhesh. Melissa Pipkins.
Please join me in extending your heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates here today. Well, this is indeed a day of joy and celebration. The heart of any great university is the faculty and the professional staff who give it life. Our processional today includes many of the faculty and staff of the university. I invite them now to stand and be recognized, and please note as well that printed on your back pages of your program are the members of the platform party, including our regents and Mayo professors. Faculty and staff, please stand and be recognized. A special importance to the vitality of a great university are its alumni, especially those individuals who celebrate the pursuit of excellence through their lifelong loyalty to their alma mater. Mr. Stan McKee, President of the Texas A&M University Commerce Alumni Association Board of Directors, is such an individual. Stan is Senior Manager of Customer Relations for Encore and received a BS in 1978 in Construction Engineering and an MS in Industrial Technology in 1990. Mr. McKee, I invite you now to bring greetings to these, our newest alumni of Texas A&M University Commerce, on behalf of their Alumni Association.
Since brevity in speech seems to be the theme of the evening, I'm certainly not going to break ranks. To Dr. Jones, to the administration, faculty, staff, family, and friends of this university, and certainly not least, the graduates, I bring to you greetings from the Texas A&M University Alumni Association. It gives me great pleasure to be among the first to congratulate you on this achievement. Today is your day. Revel in it. For all the hard work and sacrifice you went through to get here to this moment, you should celebrate. I only have one comment, and then I'll take my seat. In fact, as I said, brevity seems to be the theme for the day, so I'll cut it very short and get right to the point. As Dr. Jones introduced me, I am the current president for the Alumni Association. So you know what's coming next. I want you to be involved in your Alumni Association. You have received a fantastic education at this institution. I want you to take the opportunity to tell someone else about the education experience that you received here. Dr. Jones issued a challenge earlier to the doctoral students to go out and do something big. I want to issue that same challenge to all of you, and in addition to that, I would like for you to go to the bookstore and buy a ball cap, a hood, a lapel pin, whatever it may be that has Texas A&M University Commerce on it. And when your wardrobe permits, wear it, you would be surprised at the number of fellow alums you run into. So please do that when you have the opportunity to do so. And remember, we are Lions. Now, I'm also supposed to share with you that refreshments will be served at the alumni tent located just across the parking lot here from the gym. I think due to the weather, obviously we'll be serving hot cider and probably coffee. So again, thank you for your participation in this event.
Thank you, Stan, and thank you to all the alumni who have given so much to their university. Again, on behalf of the faculty and staff, I offer my sincere congratulations to each one of you. Please join me in recognition of the A&M Commerce Ceremonial Brass, who is providing the music for today's occasion. The brass ensemble will accompany us as we sing the Alma Mater, led by Ms. Jennifer Glidden, instructor of voice in the Department of Music. The words are printed on the back of the program and are also inside the graduates' diploma covers. At the conclusion of the Alma Mater, we ask that you remain standing until the recessional has exited the facility. We ask that the graduates and faculty please continue in the recessional march until you reach the doors. Thank you all for making this such a wonderful occasion. Ms. Glidden.
Songs of praise thy children singing to